Yeah.
Hey special family, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Autism Mom, and on this channel we talk everything autism. Today we're doing another fair use reaction video of one of my favorite beautiful eyed awesome moms, and here's the video. Let's go.
Why are you lying? Black people are not advocates for our disabled community the way that we should be. We pretend we can spank it away. We pretend we can pray it away. We pretend that if we do not put a label on them that they'll catch up. We pretend that they are bad kids, and if they would just be good, then all the problems would just magically melt away. Do you know how many Black men and women tell me that their mates or their mother-in-laws or their father-in-laws do not want them to get early intervention services for their children because they don't want to put the label of having a disability on their children, and that they'll just magically catch up if they just do the right thing and work hard? When therapy is literally free tutoring, you're giving them a head start. You are getting them everything that rich, privileged people give their own kids so that they do better than other people's children. Denying a disability isn't love.
Denying a disability isn't love. I didn't grow up in the United States. I grew up in South America. But even there, I've noticed that if you have a child with a disability, it's very, very taboo. It's like there's something wrong with your family. Do not mess with that family, or else they're disabled. Whatever they got going on is going to come into your family, and this family has status. We do not want to go to that status of disability. We're not calling that on this family. We never will, and we never have. It's like the signs are right there. You can look at the child, see the disability, but people will turn a blind eye just so that others won't say that they have a disability running in their family, because it's considered a bad thing. So she has points. I agree with her point, but let's go to the comment section and see what the commenters had to say, if they agree or disagree with her. The first commenter says, "You're correct. It's deep. We've been labeled as so many negative things in society. We desperately don't want to add more labels." She responded with a video, and it says this.
That's true. And I'm going to tell you how it messes us up, though. Imagine this scenario. You got little Bradley. His mom is Karen. And then we have DeMarcus, and his mama is Keisha. Karen finds out that Bradley is having some developmental delays, and he is 2 years old. Keisha finds out something similar. Karen walks in the room and says, "My little Bradley deserves and needs all the therapy, all the care, all of the everything that you can do. I want the OT, I want the behavioral therapy, I want the floor time therapy, I want the speech therapy. I need to get my little Bradley everything that he deserves in order for him to be prepared for elementary school." Keisha says, "Do not put that on my child. DeMarcus does not have this problem," and she just takes him home and doesn't get any of those services. On the first day of kindergarten, who do you think does better? Somebody got a head start that we rejected.
Is she lying? Is she lying? No, she's not. She's not lying. Especially that, "do not call that on my kid." It's something I learned in the US. Because some kids, you look at them and you're like, something ain't right. They might have to be evaluated. And if the parent, let's say the mom's parents or the mom's cousin or somebody were to say, "Have you ever thought about getting them evaluated? Don't call stuff on my child. We don't have that in our family. Our family don't have no disabled people. Don't call no disability on my child." That's the attitude. That's the reaction. But let's continue with the comments. Next commenter says, "This is true to a point, because not all Black people do this." Not saying all, but most of them. "Some of us wasn't brought up to ignore clear signs that your child needs help." Lilex's mom responded, "All people don't do all things. That's basic logic." I agree. Next commenter says, "I do this for sure with the labeling. I don't know why. I just don't like the labels. Any suggestions for being better? Call a spade a spade. Lilac Mom responded, I think you have to unpack why the label bothers you first before moving forward. Now that's deep. Next commenter says, my son is 2, barely talks, so I got him in speech therapy. The backlash I'm getting is horrible, but I don't care. This only helps him. I told you. You try to get in front of it, get ahead of it, and then you have the family back there like, oh, why are you trying to bring this on the family? What does this have to do with you? Do you have the speech impediment? Like, what's wrong with you? Lilac Mom responded, we deserve all the same tutoring and effort. Nothing wrong with that. I agree. Next commenter, not to mention the anti-medication beliefs. Oh, that one. Child. Some people's lives are drastically improved with meds. Some aren't. Mine has. Drastically. Lifesaver. Next commenter says, this really spoke to me. I grew up in a house like this. While my elder sister got diagnosed early on and had an IEP that helped her with accommodations throughout primary school and college, I got diagnosed far later and never got an IEP, which I desperately needed. Heck, I didn't even know what accommodations and IEPs were an option until a month ago into my junior year of high school. I just thought that I sucked at school and had no future since no one seemed to want to help. My dad didn't want me to get diagnosed because he thought there was nothing wrong with me. The anthem. And there really isn't anything wrong with me. My brain just wired differently. That's all. Exactly. I wasn't ever given an IEP because my parents said, we tried it with your sister and it didn't work. Come on now. Which it actually really did help her a lot. We're also different effing people. So I don't know why they assume it'd be the same for me. That's what I thought. My mom really does want the best for me, but sometimes I wish she could understand how I feel sometimes. My dad tries to ignore that any of us are disabled and thinks that if we just don't get diagnosed for the disability that we very possibly have, that there's nothing wrong. Ignoring what's best for your kids is not okay. Could she have summed it up better? Could she have said it in a better way? No. So the last commenter says, the reason why my family alienated my kids and I, embarrassed or ignored us completely, receiving the right kind of help and attention my children needed to be successful adults. My daughter has Angelman syndrome and my son has Asperger's. Both graduated high school. My son holds a job and has his own place. My daughter lives in a group home with everything she needs. I wouldn't change anything or wish I did anything different. Proud special need mom. I hope this video was an eye-opener. If you see something or see that something is just not right, be sure. There's no harm in having it checked out just to be sure. Because if you're ahead of it, it gives your child a great head start. There's nothing wrong with giving your child a head start if they have a disability. And if they don't have it, then they don't have it. But if you blatantly see that something is wrong or something is nagging you like, I have to have this child checked, if something just doesn't map out, do it. Don't listen to others, because at the end of the day, your child is the one who has to face the real world, and guess whose shoulder is going to fall on yours. So put your child first, put their health first, and put your family first. Let outside noise be outside noise. Catch you in the next video.